Good morning. Today is Sunday, June 23rd or 4th. So, today we're going to talk about something really important for you people who are interested in competing or who are competitors, and that is posing. Nothing will make you or break you faster than poor posing. I see the guys in here posing, doing all these crazy things, and there really is an art to posing. Your exercises that you do, your workout routine, and the individual exercises you do are for your posing. So when you do a lat pull down, you're really activating those lats. When you're doing seated cable rows, you're learning how to control your mid-back. You use your exercises to make a connection, mind-muscle connection with the muscle so that you can control it. So then you make the next leap that when you do a pose, you're thinking about you can activate that muscle without doing the exercise, but you know what, you can feel it. And that takes practice. It really takes practice. So I am very insistent with my competitors that they practice posing and they do it right. So when they say that posing is an art, they're right. It's not just standing there in a certain position. As an artist, I still consider myself an artist. I am looking for lines. I'm looking for parallel lines. Where is my eye being drawn to? Even when it comes to your posing trunks, even with classic physique, where does the color scheme draw a line? Does it make your waist look narrow? Does it make your legs look longer? So that's important. It's not just color and design. How does it strengthen the look of your physique? When you have wider hips like I do, or wider waist, I have a blocky waist, it's really important that my bodybuilding trunks make a line this way. It makes my waist look smaller. If you work flat across, it makes your waist look wider. The way you hold your arm, you want your lat, you want this arm to echo it. And it makes you look like you have a better X frame. There's so many little nuances to this. There's a lot of really good YouTube help out there to get you ideas of what it should be. And one of the things that I did, and I'm grateful for my coach, gave me the idea. He gave me a long list of names. I want you to watch posing videos from all these posing masters. And I did. While I was on the cardio, I sat there and I watched lots of posing videos from Bob Paris, Lee Labrada, Ed Corney, Frank Zane. In the modern era, well, I personally like Logan Franklin, Terrence Ruffin. Breon's a good poser. Even you get kind of into the 90s, Vince Taylor, I even like watching Sean Ray pose. So you watch these things over and over and over again, and you can play these things in your mind. So when you pose in front of a mirror, you see it. And once again, I credit my coach because he loves good posing. He loves the classic posers. And I've always loved that too, so it's one thing we have in common, is that between sets, you pose. You hold your pose. I'll work on my mandatory poses between sets. Just holding it. Thank goodness we have big digital clocks up here. So do my quarter turns and just watch that clock. Eventually, what I'll be doing by the time showtime comes around is between a set, I'll look up at the clock, hold the pose for 15 seconds, turn, do the whole routine. Eventually, I'll just start using my phone. It has a timer on it that, every 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, it goes off. And I also watch in the mirror and watch my transitions. What does my face also say about posing? Keeping my head on a swivel. When you watch a really good guitar player, you don't see them looking down at their hands. A really, really good guitar player doesn't need to look at his hands anymore. When you're a good poser, you don't need to look down at your body. There's never a reason to look down at the floor unless you absolutely have to, or it's part of the routine. You always want to look big. So those little things all add up in presentation. And I wish one day they would bring back, at least for classic physique, that part of your scoring is just on posing. I think that's really important. If you're going to do a show, get a posing coach. Not someone who's just done one amateur show. Get somebody who knows what the hell they're doing and cares about it. Someone who can look at your body and tell you, hey, when you put your hand on your hip, don't leave your arm like this. Keep that parallel line. Or, hey, your hands don't look good in that position. Or you need to turn your leg out so it looks like you have more size. All those little things, that's what a judge is going to see. You could have a great, let's say you work really hard and you've got a decent physique and you get up on stage and you look nervous, you're looking down at the floor. Every time you do a switch from pose to pose, your head goes down, no confidence. That shows. When I go on stage, I do what I call my strut. Man, I'm out there. I own the stage. This is my stage. Look at me. I am here to entertain you, the audience, and impress the judges. I'm not a big fan of the guys who do a couple poses and then walk from one side of the stage to the other going, ugh. Yeah, they might have a lot of muscle, but they haven't shown it off. I know the guys out there who really enjoy their cars. Man, they work on their cars. They get them going, soup up the engine, get really good, cool looking tires and rims. They get all the accessories. They put a lot of time and attention into it. Then they go to a car show and their car's dirty. What? Same thing with if you're doing a physique show, you've literally spent years in the gym and now you got maybe 10 minutes to show it off. Are you gonna walk out on that stage and look like a putz because you don't know how to show off what you got? There is a science to posing as well. Once again, I mentioned, doing your workout routine, you make that mind-muscle connection. But when you're backstage, you don't need lots of weights to pump up. You're just depleting all that glycogen you have in your muscle right now. Just pose, pose, pose. There is a whole science between, of the prepping. Those last 2 days before a show and right before you get on stage, there's a real science to that. Trust your coach. Do what they tell you to do. Don't eat anything or drink anything that you normally haven't been drinking. And the science also comes in the fact that, if you use the diuretic, I hope you've been using something that's potassium sparing. What could happen if you use diuretics? What are the consequences? How it will affect your client? What do you do if something goes wrong? So, you gotta pay careful attention to that stuff so that you also have the endurance to be out on that stage. You're gonna have a lot of adrenaline, but I've seen people get out on stage and fade quick. Michael Crezo, last week at the Impro, he couldn't last long on stage, man. He was huffing and puffing. And when you're a professional, I know he's a monster and everything. I got loads of respect for him, but that's unprofessional. Your job is to show off your physique. Why in the hell wouldn't you take the time that you're going to be out on that stage as long as you have to be, round after round after round? So, learning the science of the nutrition that it takes to stay up there and pose round after round after round, and then possibly stand on the back line and hold it. You got to learn how to do that stuff. So today, I'm taking a couple of my competitors and myself. We're going to go to my team group posing. So I'll show some video from that. Perhaps I'll sprinkle in some pictures of my favorite posers, even in men's physique. So I love Ryan Terry. I love the way he poses, but he has a body shape that supports it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them below. Be nice in the comments. Don't be an internet troll. And one reason I haven't posted my posing routine is because of the shitload of crap I got about people constantly walking in front of my camera when I'm trying to even get a 70-second routine recorded without somebody walking in front of it. I'm hoping I'll get a complete recording of how my whole posing routine looks today. We'll see. People say, why don't you pose in your house? I live in a tiny apartment that's all carpet. And try to pose, slide down, do groundwork on a carpet, and then try to get back up or slide back down into it. See what happens. And then you have a dog. Every time you get down onto the ground, she thinks it's time to play. It's hard to find places to pose that have good lighting. You can hear your music. So hopefully today I'll get a good take. All right, I will see you next time. And I'll either see you on the stairs or the recumbent bike. I'll talk more about that later. This is Aqua Baram. Be well.